experts are saying that Trump is going to ruin the economy. Remember what the experts told you about COVID? I'm sure they're absolutely correct. They don't provide any resources for how they came to that conclusion. Just like with COVID, they did no scientific testing. In fact, the testing for COVID was, how did they conduct that? Oh, that's right. They released it into the marketplace and they called that a test. And then not even halfway through the test, they said, you know what? It's not fair that the people in the control group aren't allowed to participate as guinea pigs. And so they got rid of the control group and they vaccinated as many people as they could without any proof that it would work, without any proof of the claims that it was safe and effective, without any proof whatsoever. And now we have 16 Nobel laureates, and they're calling them Nobel Prize winners, which they are not. They are laureates, meaning they didn't get the prize. Did I sound shrill there for just a minute? I get so excited over this stuff. But the funniest part in this is it's actually being reported. It should say 16 Democrats respond to the White House's request for a new talking point about Trump killing the economy, because it is so abjectly evident that Biden has killed the economy. It is a dead horse, and he keeps kicking it with all of his policies. In fact, there's a guy on, I think he's on TikTok, and he has an app with Walmart, and he shops at Walmart. And so when he shops at Walmart, even when he's just walking around the store, the app tracks his purchases. Every time he makes a purchase at Walmart, somehow it gets recorded in his app. And so he went back a couple of years to under Trump's term, and he went to one of his grocery purchases and he did a reorder. So basically the exact same purchases that totaled like $119. He did a reorder today just to see how much it would be. And it was over $400. So don't try to tell us that the economy is just sailing along smoothly and Trump is the danger. We know what it was like under Trump, and we know what it's like under Biden. And honestly, I know there are a lot of other issues in this debate, in this election cycle, but I do believe that the economy will be front and center. And it's probably going to be front and center in the debate, which means that the debate hosts, because they have control over the microphone, this will be interesting, because you know how Trump likes to talk. All right, but back to these 16 Democrats, Nobel laureates, giving their opinion. By the way, how often is an economist correct? Half as often as the weatherman. I'm just saying. So they put this together spontaneously, right? Watch this clip from a little while ago. This is a montage that was put together by Maze Moore on TikTok or Twitter. Sorry, watch this.
The Trump campaign responded by blasting economists, saying that the American people don't need, quote, worthless, out-of-touch Nobel Prize winners to tell them which president put more money in their pocket.
Sorry, wrong clip. We've got the montage here. It's A3. So let's go to A3.
Today, 15 recipients of the Nobel Prize in Economics released a letter in support of the president's Build Back Better plan,
including 4 Nobel Prize winners recently highlighted in an open letter.
17 Nobel laureates who have conveyed this will help address inflation.
14 Nobel laureates in economics said it'll actually bring down the cost, it will reduce the deficit, and it was totally paid for, and it's going to reduce inflation.
17 Nobel laureates in economics.
15 Nobel laureates in economics released a letter yesterday. 17 Nobel Prize winners in economics have said, spontaneously wrote to me together, and 14 Nobel laureates in economics wrote to me telling me that it will also diminish the impact of inflation. And I told you about the impact of 17 Nobel laureates saying it's going to decrease inflation, not increase it. And this is from 15 Nobel laureates in economics. Quote, because this agenda, the one I'm talking about, mine, The 17 Nobel winners of the economics have written a letter just about 3 weeks ago to me affirming that this bill would ease long-term inflationary pressures. 14, I think it was 14, Nobel laureate economists in economics saying this is going to, what I'm proposing, to reduce the inflation.
Nobel economists in economics spontaneously agreed. Spontaneously, it was like spontaneous combustion. You know, how the world was created. Sorry. Are you kidding me with this stuff? All right. So they spontaneously got together and decided that Joe Biden needed another talking point to go into the debate with. And let's hope that he remembers how many there were, because apparently there were several different times that several different numbers of them got together. It sounds like there are over 100,000 of them. Moving on, as he slowly finds himself drifting to the right, Bill Maher explains why the left is losing its base. This happened at the Aspen Ideas Festival, a notorious left-leaning festival of ideas, leftist ideas. But watch what he says here. It's really quite fascinating.
I mean, part of it, the left has to own. They are aggressively anti-common sense. The Democrats keep running on this one idea, saying to the American people, you can't possibly think you can do worse than Donald Trump. And they keep saying, yes, we can. Yeah. Yes, we can. And I understand that. I do. I would never vote for Donald Trump. And as I said, I think the Republicans are worse. But yeah, when you know, it's funny, when I talk to, you know, my friends around my age, 40, and they are always bitching to me about their kids who are like in their 20s, and they're like super uber woke, and they're driving their parents crazy. And everything is like, you don't get it, Mom. That's old thinking. And I'm like, don't get what? Abolish the police? Tear down statues of Lincoln? Maybe give communism another shot? Get rid of the Border Patrol? Get rid of capitalism? White supremacy has never been worse? Gender is always just a social construct. It's okay to have penises in the women's swimming pool in women's prisons. Okay. No, it's not that I'm old. It's that your ideas are stupid.
She tried to give him a little bit of pushback. You saw that, but he wasn't having it. He was going to have his say. Meanwhile, in Trump derangement syndrome land, this is Whoopi Goldberg, who can't mention Trump's name without spitting.
Take him seriously and take him literally.
I don't think that we have to. I think it would be remiss of us to not say Joe Biden knows how to do this. Yes, he knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you know, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean
he rambles.
Trump. Yeah. He tends to just.
But can I mention one thing?
Yeah, that's about par for the course. The best comment on the internet that I saw came from Creature of Habit 2 on X, who said she's just trying to jump on the Haktua train. Haktua, I suppose it's Haktua. All right, on to Dartmouth College. So, you know, first do no harm. Dartmouth's medical school faculty used university communication channels to urge students to oppose a New Hampshire bill. They're in New Hampshire, obviously, banning gender transition surgeries for children. In other words, they are positioning themselves to be pro-gender transition surgeries for children. This is according to emails that were obtained by an organization called Do No Harm, which is an association of medical professionals. The Geisel Medical School faculty encouraged students to oppose 3 state bills, one of which bans gender transition surgeries for minors. Another one protects the children from being victimized in school or receiving sex surgeries as minors. And a third bill requires people at schools or sports facilities or prisons to use the bathroom corresponding to their biological sex. I'm glad that some people still think that we use this term biological sex because we ought to be using it more frequently. And yes, 10 years ago, nobody would have believed that it would be necessary to qualify the term sex with biological. But apparently these days it is. This is exclusive off the Daily Wire. This is a different story, but aligned with this story. There's a federal guide now on inclusive language. And it's telling bureaucrats to get rid of gendered terms like son and daughter. So isn't that a pretty little